It all started when one mother said no to institutionalizing her daughter with cerebral palsy and yes to creating a more inclusive life for her instead. Ann Lane was determined for her daughter, Anita, to live and thrive in her own community. So Ann joined forces with her friend and civic leader, Rebecca Frazer, and on the first Monday of 1949, Frazer Center opened its doors. Those doors were in the basement of St. Luke's Episcopal Church on Peachtree Street. Over the decades, the organization has changed names, from the Cerebral Palsy Center of Atlanta to REACH, Rehabilitation and Education for Adults and Children Incorporated, then to the Frazer Center. But the vision has remained constant, to foster inclusive communities for people with and without disabilities. Frazer Center is nestled on 39 acres of old-growth forest on the ancestral lands of the Muskogee and Cherokee nations. The campus includes Cater Woolford Gardens and the former estate house of Cater Woolford, who co-founded the credit bureau that became Equifax. The property was acquired by Frazer in 1952, and a trust was created to ensure that the property would remain in service to Frazer's mission. The facilities have expanded over time, and Frazer moved into its current building in 1961. In 1975, the United States Congress passed the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, which declared that all children are to receive free and appropriate public education regardless of disability. So Frazer shifted gears and created two programs, one for children under 5 and one for adults 18 and over. Today, our Child Development Program has 13 classrooms for infants through pre-K students, with an early intervention team that helps create meaningfully inclusive learning environments for children with and without disabilities. Our Refugee Intern Program, in partnership with the nonprofit Refugee Women's Network, has provided training to several cohorts of interns, many of whom have become full-time educators at Frazer Center. The program has garnered national attention, with other education centers seeking to replicate it.
Will you touch the fern behind you? How does the fern feel?
Frazer Forest has inspired the development of Frazer's inclusive, nature-based early education curriculum in partnership with Georgia State University's Urban Child Study Center. One goal of the program is to widen our outreach to other early childhood education providers throughout Metro Atlanta, particularly those serving children in under-resourced communities, and share the curriculum with them, provide training to educators, and make Frazer Forest available for field trips to ensure that more and more children have access to nature-based learning.
And if anybody needs help, just ask.
Frazer Center's Adult Services Program provides direct support to approximately 60 adults with a broad spectrum of intellectual and developmental disabilities, ranging in age from 22 to over 60 years old. Our support services are person-centered. Our staff works with each individual to discover their strengths, their skills, interests, hopes, and dreams. All of our adult participants have their own individualized service plan, which includes goals they are working towards. Our team helps ensure those goals are met and that new goals are created. Through Frazer Center's Community Access Program, our individuals can choose to participate in volunteer opportunities and social, educational, recreational, and cultural experiences throughout the metro area. One of our goals at Frazer Center is to become essentially a center without walls, with virtually all of our adult participants being out in the community every day. Some of these community access services are provided on the weekends, with our direct support professionals working one-on-one with an individual out in the community. Through Frazer's Supported Employment Program, individuals who are interested in employment can work with our staff to find a job that fits their skills and interests. Job coaches continue to provide support to ensure a win-win situation for both the employer and the employee. Through our partnership with Trees Atlanta, Frazer Center is in the midst of a long-term forest restoration project that requires the help of volunteers. On the first Saturday of most months, experts from Trees Atlanta lead a group of volunteers in trail maintenance, invasive species removal, and other projects as needed. Volunteers can sign up through our website. Where does our money come from? As you can see from these figures from fiscal year 2023, about half of our revenue comes from tuition for the children's program. The majority of our adult participants pay for services through Medicaid, although private pay is also accepted. Other revenue comes from investment returns, as well as fundraising through individual donations and government, private foundation, and corporate grants. Frazer Center also generates income through our social enterprise, Cater Wolford Gardens, which we rent as a wedding and event venue. Photographers enjoy bringing clients here for photo shoots, and they pay a fee to do so. We also are listed as a location on several film resource sites. Did you recognize the gardens in an episode of Stranger Things? All proceeds from these rentals support our mission of fostering inclusive communities where children and adults with and without disabilities gather, learn, and flourish. Anita Lane inspired that mission 75 years ago, and you, our staff, are making it happen. Ann Lane did not settle for status quo, and neither do you. You see children and adults like Anita, and you see possibilities rather than limitations. You have a heart for our mission and the people at the center of that mission, and it shows in your work and in your attitude. Without you, there is no Frazer Center. Thank you for all you do to make Frazer and our world more inclusive.